be honest. When was the last time that you've like looked at an actual clock or your watch? Like, I'm not talking like a iPhone watch or whatever they're called. I don't know. I don't know. Apple Watch. But like, I'm talking like an actual watch or clock for time. Nothing else. Specifically for time. Do you even wear a watch? Does anyone? I mean, I know people wear watches. I'm not talking about like the fancy Apple watches and stuff. I mean like an old school traditional watch. Does anyone wear a watch anymore? I don't know. I feel like that's something that is less of a piece of actual useful technology now and is more a piece of kind of traditional technology, perhaps a status piece in some ways. I don't know. I've never really worn watches at all. I've never liked like watches. Anyways, it's not what you're here for. What you're here for is to listen to my reaction to Dance Society, or I should say the Dance Society, with this particular track, Clock. Now, when I pulled it up on Spotify, it shows it like on their album Seduction, but I think that this is no, it's like a collection. I don't know if this is actually on an album because before it told me Seduction, but now I'm not quite sure because I'm looking at the track listing for Seduction and it ain't on there. So I do not know where this is from. We're gonna listen to it though. We're gonna listen to the track because it had been suggested by AK. So AK, thank you so much for the recommendation. I've never heard of the band, but you had given me this and some other, I believe, goth bands. So, hey, I'm very much into it. Let's go ahead and dive on in. We'll talk about it a little bit after. Clock. Here we go. That scared me. Head snapping.
Time relates. Time infatuates. Time strain. Time brave. Time escape. Time advance. Time move. Time to dance.
I like the way he speaks.
Time, fascination, time, deviation, time, conception, time, deception, time, desperation, time, education, must get motivation. Stop the clock. Let's get inspiration. I can't let clock stop.
I get that little effect on it. Love the layering. Go from bass line, bring in the choppy guitar. I like the ending a lot. I like this growing sense of panic that's like everything's closing in, and how he's saying, you can't let the clock stop, and of course the music stops. And the way I imagine that part, at least, is like once time stops, like that's it. Like everything's done. I like that. I like how it. All right, let me remove myself from the lyrics for a second. The singer slash speaker, because to me he's more melodically speaking, kind of calling out. That's going to be Stephen Victor Rawlings. What a great name. He's kind of like a ringleader, and not an auctioneer, but kind of like the leader in this particular troupe that's happening. And like I said, I like how he's not really singing here. He's just kind of melodically calling out and announcing and doing whatever he's doing. And I like that. I can kind of imagine him on the stage, like calling out to the audience themselves. I like the sparseness, sparsicity. I like how sparse this sounds as well, because there's a hollowness to it. It's not a dense track. There's a hollowness, but it works in its favor in giving a lot of space to everything. I mean, you hear very similar things with like Joy Division, The Cure. Those are the first two bands I can think of off the top of my head. And I think that allows for a lot of the instruments to shine in their own way without being overshadowed or competing for room with one another. So the little bit of keyboards that's back there by Lyndon Scarf, it's like a little ambience that's just kind of under there. And I like how you can, like, you hear it, but sometimes you don't always notice it. When the music dropped out in the second half, like, as the drums are continuing on, you barely heard that. It sounded like a singular note. That, okay, not like what I'm doing, but like you heard that singular note. And then, of course, the bass hops on it. Wonderful bass line. It's a fun, dancey one. Tim Wright on the bass, then Paul Nash coming in right after with the guitar. First chopping it up, like something like that, and then like it goes on from there. Melody starts to change, singer comes back, and it goes on. I think that that's a fun track. I think it's dancey. I think it's fun instrumentally. Seems like it's fun to play. It's fun to listen to. Let's dive into the lyrics, because I think there's something to it. Time. Oh, and by the way, the kind of caught me off guard. Time to relate, time to infatuate, time to stray, time to pray, time to escape, time to advance, time to move, time to dance. Must get motivation before they stop the clock. Must get inspiration, can't let clock stop. Time survival, time tribal, time fascination, time deviation, time conception, time deception, time desperation, time education. Then repeats, of course, these lyrics. And then, of course, as we mentioned at the end, that clock does stop alongside of the music. So my view is just existence. Everything that he's saying here after time after time, is just, part of everyday life. The good, the bad, and everything in between. Relating, infatuating, straying, praying, escaping, advancing, survival, education, deception, conception. Like, these are all words that just, in very singular key words, what's the word, like our parts of life, our facets of life. So like I said, when time stops, when the clock stops, I mean, existence is done basically. And I like as I mentioned before, like the growing panic at the end, but also, before they stop the clock. So the question is, who is stopping the clock? Who's the clock master? Or whatever. Anyways, thank you for the recommendation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Press the like button before you leave. Patreon's there. You don't have to, but it's there. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys. Don't stop the clock.